Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Real Reds Talk. Just me, myself, and I on today's show. And I am here to react to the shocking news that broke last night. That Sir Jim Ratcliffe could be potentially making a deal with the Devils. He could be doing what is going on here. It was literally just a kind of cycle of wind that just popped out of nowhere last night whilst I was enjoying me dinner, whatever it was I was having. What was I having for my dinner last night? Can't remember. I was eating something anyway. I was really enjoying it. And then the news that broke on Twitter just absolutely ruined my appetite. So I have to dive into this. I was going to dive into it last night, but let's be honest, the City and Arsenal game was on, wasn't it? And everybody was watching that. So I thought the best time to do it would be tomorrow when it's match day, when, it's roughly 12 o'clock, 1, whatever it is right now. And people can join in with it and react to it themselves. So before I get into it, please do get your opinions in on this situation. I really want to see what people think, and make sure you smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, I'm going to tell you the news, and please do, like I said, drop your opinions in the comment section. People on TikTok, people on YouTube, and let me know what you think, because it is quite shocking, and it is a quite shocking update in regards to the ownership. So apparently Sir Jim Ratcliffe is offering a deal for Manchester United that would enable Joel and Avram Glazer to remain stakeholders in the club. One of the options on the table for the Glazers would see Sir Jim Ratcliffe take a controlling stake of more than 50%, with the two Glazers retaining a combined 20% of the club. Those close to the Manchester United sale process say the prospect of Sir Jim Ratcliffe taking 50% may well prove to be the preferred options with the two of the Glazer brothers. Now, the thing is about this situation, we've known for a while now that they've got, is it like 8 brothers and sisters or something? You got like Darcy, Matt, Keith, fucking Barry, Kenneth, Gertrude, like people you've never heard of before, basically. But I believe there's around 6 siblings who are all kind of in the mix with this. Now, obviously, Joel and Avram are the ones who are mainly involved with Manchester United, and that's why we know so much about them, because Joel's the one at the top. Joel's the one who was basically the co-chairman, I believe, of the Super League as well. So these are greedy twats. We know what they're all about, but the family we don't know too much about. And we've always known there's been this lingering thing where the other side of the family really want to sell, and then the two brothers want to stay and want to drain it and want to milk it, and basically want to take as much money out of the club as they possibly can. And Sir Jim Ratcliffe offering something like this, it's music to the ears. It's like, oh well, we don't have to take the reins as the owners. But we can still milk the club dry and still make money off it, essentially. And apparently such a scenario would be likely to feature a promise of further investment from Ratcliffe's Ineos to redevelop Old Trafford, but build a new stadium, upgrade the training ground, and provide substantial transfer funds for Eric Ten Hag. Now, like I said, straight off the bat, I don't care if it's 1% that the Glazers they are still making fucking money off this club. They are still tied to this club. We have always said, if you are not the solution to removing the Glazers from Old Trafford, you become part of the problem. Now, this is a huge swing in the pendulum for me in terms of, in fact, I'll get into my opinions shortly and how I feel about the whole situation now. But more importantly, how do you guys feel seeing this news right now? Because there's been a lot of people who have been saying to Jim Ratcliffe, he'll put the Manchester back in United, or whatever the Brexit kind of line was that he said when it was Thinger. This is like a lot of the locals people's options who they wanted in. Certain media outlets have been pushing the agenda with Sir Jim Ratcliffe. But then when news drops like this, does that not sway your opinion? Does it not? I'm not saying it should. Well, look, again, my opinion is my own. I'm not saying it should sway your opinion, but does it not kind of, you just look at that and you're like, really? Really? Because imagine if that came out about Sheikh Jassim, if it said he's willing to keep them in, like there'd be an absolute outrage. And I've not seen really, maybe I've just missed it or whatever, but I've not seen that much of an outrage online, which is just confusing me, to be honest. Zach saying, why would he even suggest that? Rather have Sheikh Jassim on a full sale. Don't want them near the club. Well, this is the point, innit? This is the point. I'll read a few more bits out because there is more to this story. So speaking of Sheikh Jassim, he has no interest in taking a partial stake in Manchester United. He is viewed as having the deepest pockets and remains an attractive proposal. A full takeover is also viewed as a cleaner transaction. It is expected that a preferred bidder will be selected within days after the next deadline, with the aim to have investment or new owners in place at Manchester United for the next transfer window. And now the deadline, as we know, guys, is coming up literally tomorrow, the 28th. So I'm expecting over the next kind of 24 hours, you're going to be hearing a lot of news about this. I don't think it'll be confirmed tomorrow. It won't be like deadline day, like we've thought about the past other kind of deadlines that the Glazers have given out. Maybe there'll be a fourth round of bidding. Maybe it'll go where the Qatar and Sheikh Jassim offer 5.7, and they're like, nope, that's still not 6 billion. Let's go again for another month, and then we're sat here talking about the same situation by the end of June when we're halfway through the January transfer windows and we're trying to sign fucking Harry Kane for 12 weeks, like. Honestly, it's absolutely ridiculous. Really is. I'm getting sick of this ownership thing at the minute. They're just dragging it on. And the fans are being dragged through the mud with it as well. Mike saying, even as a City fan, I want them gone. They hurt the sport I love just by being involved. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. We've got Tyrone Wilson saying the Blades are going up. We're in the Premier League. Yep, they've been promoted. Not going to lie, never wanted to Jim Ratcliffe because I feel like he hasn't got a clear plan. Well, this has been it because the few kind of bad bits of PR around to Jim Ratcliffe and his deal to take over the club, there's been sprinkles of, well, there might be still debt involved. His company will take it on, but then there's still the lingering debt. How will that affect funds going forward? And then you've got this thing where he's willing to keep the Glazers in with 40% of the club or 20% for each brother. Like, he surely, I think he can't compete with Sheikh Jassim and the money that he's offering and putting on the table. So he's looking for ways into the club to be like, right, well, I can't do this, but maybe we can do this together, and offering the Glazers what they want, but still offering them money at the same time. So giving them the best of both worlds. That's what seems to be happening at the minute. But if we're being completely honest, just, transparent as Man United fans, we want to put a fucking end to this chapter. We want it done. I am sick and tired of talking about it. I really am. You know what I mean? I'd much rather talk about nonsensical articles that come out about United where Neymar's joining for 50 billion. That's how sick I am of talking about this ownership situation. It's pissing me off at the minute. And another question is this a tactic from the Glazers to try push the price up even more? Have they spoken to Sir Jim? They may realize the bid isn't going to go, that he can't bid enough, or it's something like, yeah, you know what? Let's just, we'll make this deal. Unless Sheik comes in with £6 billion, maybe there is something we can do to work together. But honestly, I'm sick of this shit. I just want it done. I'll be surprised if you come away with the result. Harry Maguire playing. Mason saying score predictions for tonight. I'll be doing a live watch along, of course, on TikTok and YouTube tonight for the game. So make sure you come and join me. I'll be live at 7:15 with team news. And my score prediction is 2-1. We scrape a 2-1 win tonight. Look, another kind of quick thing I want to point out. We have a protest this weekend on the 30th when we play Aston Villa. A lot of people are going to this protest. You've seen a lot of the big fan channels who are putting this out. 1958 have organised it. Loads of people have been speaking about it. Now, with this deadline coming tomorrow, is there going to be something put out there to try dampen these protests? I'm not saying they'll be successful, but you will see, I'm guessing tomorrow or Saturday, you will see something regarding the ownership. Like, oh, it's in motion now, the sale's about to happen, or some kind of PR spin to dampen these protests out. But obviously, it's not going to dampen us because we'll still be there. We'll still be screaming from the top of our lungs, getting across the message that we have always said for the past 18 years, which has been Glazers out, regardless of whatever situation we're in. We want them gone. And if Sir Jim Ratcliffe is offering this opportunity to, keep them at the club on 40% or whatever it is, bollocks, absolute bollocks, get them out. I don't think Sir Jim Ratcliffe realizes how much of an impact this could have, just from the fans hearing this, like myself. I was always been on the fence about this, and I said I'll touch on my opinion towards the end, but I've always been on the fence about this situation. But hearing this news come out now about Sir Jim Ratcliffe, I'm kind of like, mate, you just put a nail in the coffin for me for even thinking about your bid if you're going to keep the Glazers on. You really, really have. What happens then with the transfer window, depending on who comes in? If Ineos are going to provide significant transfer funds to the kitty, the pot, or whatever, how much is that going to be? Will there still be lingering debt? How much participation in the Glazers still going to have? Are they just going to sit in their office reaping the benefits from the 40%, which we'll all still know about? There's many questions coming into this. let's have a look at what some people are saying. Maguire out, Glazers out. Seeing that we're preparing a bid for Vanderson. Never heard of him, to be honest. Protest to get Maguire out. Sheikh Jassim has the money and a clear vision of what he wants and all the debts cleared. That's what I mean. The thing is with Qatar, what it's always been has been the human rights record, and that'll always stay there as a bump in the road in terms of how we want to progress as a club, how we want to be perceived as a club. That is a talking point, and that is something we definitely need to discuss. But you have Sir Jim, who's greenwashing with all the chemicals and destroying the planet. There's many different perspectives on this, and we as a channel have always said you're never going to get a clean billionaire. There's always going to be some kind of, questionable morals going into it. Like, you can have a look at any of the Premier League owners pretty much, and you can find something in their background that you don't necessarily agree with. So I fully take on that. But if you look at what's best for the club right now, it feels like Qatar to come in and have full ownership. It feels bad for me saying that, but it just does. It just really does. We've got Pretend Pundit saying, afternoon, brother. Good afternoon to yourself. Football Edit saying, hi, I'm back. No Harry Kane. We're not going to discuss Harry Kane today too much. We're going to discuss him later on when I'm live for the game itself. But yeah, it's worrying for me. I don't want a situation where it's like oh, the sale's been made, but they're still there. Like, what's the point? It's just a new face, a new advertisement on a shiny tin. Like, I just want him gone. All of them. Darcy, Kenneth, Keith, Barry, Gertrude, whoever it is, just get them gone out of this club. Let's see how this story. Let's see how this story develops over the next couple of days, 24 hours. I'm sure I'll probably be going live again at some point because it's constantly updating. The deadline is tomorrow, and yeah, it's time in it. It's getting time. If they say, I swear to God, if they say another round of bidding or some absolute bollocks like that, I'm just going to lose my rag and be like, fuck you. Villa will beat you on Sunday. All right, mate. We need superstar. I swear there's a new Glazer every week. There is. It's honestly, it's horrendous, mate. But yeah, just thought I'd give you guys a little update on that. Like I said, if anything else breaks during the day, I will go live. But I'm live tonight, 7:15 for the watch along. Manchester United versus Spurs. Make sure you come get in the mix, get in the comment section. And as always, I'll be live for the full game and there'll be a review after as well. So I'm going to stay live on TikTok for a little bit, speaking to you guys. But for the YouTube gang, we'll see you in the next one, about 7 o'clock. Come and join us.